Spotify just announced a bunch of new features for artists, including a social media like integration they're calling Clips, a countdown timer directly inside of Spotify where people can actually pre save your releases natively inside of Spotify, which is a big deal, and then a new promotion tool called Showcase to go alongside Marquee and Discovery Mode. So we're going to be going through all of these in this video alongside all of the other cool features they have and how they can actually help us as artists. All right, so let's just start with Clips. And so this is really cool because the idea is that fans now engage with artists on social media, and then they head over to Spotify to listen to their music, or they find them on Spotify, and then head over to social media to engage with them and learn more about the artist and learn more about the release. So the idea with this is that it's a native video on Spotify that's directly tied to a release. And I'll put a little thing right here. I was on Spotify the other day, and a few people in my community, which if you're not part of the community, it's free. You can join it below. Had this thing they saw inside of Spotify called Video. They could upload a video and tie it to a release. And apparently this is what this Clips feature is. So essentially the idea is that you can use it to hype an upcoming release, promote an album or single, or move fans to go deeper. And there are 30-second vertical form clips where when a fan is listening to a song, there'll be a little essentially social media button at the bottom where they can go and whatever you want it to be. But essentially the idea is to learn more about specific releases. And there is a wait list, so I'd recommend just going and applying. Who knows what the qualifications are and how long it'll take to get, but this sounds like a fantastic way to directly have a little bit more of a communication path with your fans with Spotify, so it's not such of a leap to try to get them to jump off Spotify and go to another platform. Now, jumping back here, we're going to talk about Countdown next, which, if you're not aware, pre-saves on Spotify don't really exist. And I think I have a video I'll link to right here where you can learn more about it. But what this is, and you have Ed Sheeran here previewing it. They said all of these features, they've been in beta or alpha testing with a bunch of probably superstar artists for most of them, like Ed Sheeran. But he had an album or release. He had a countdown timer directly in Spotify, so you go there to the page, and there's a pre-save button. And so before, pre-saves would be stored by music marketing companies. They would store the user information, and when the song comes out, they would just pre-save it. And so Spotify actually didn't have any concept of a pre-save in terms of like, they couldn't see it until the song came out. And so this is native inside of Spotify. And a huge problem with pre-saves is that they're so expensive to get people to do because they have to log into Spotify to pre-save your song. If this is inside of Spotify, they don't have to log in to do it. You just have to get them to the page on Spotify, which is a huge deal. Now, there's a few other perks of this, and I'll link to my blog post and all this stuff down below, which has the links to these Spotify articles as well. But they're also saying that you can tie together like pre-orders for merch on here as well, and even link some show data as well on here. And there's actually a few other things they're talking about shows or touring and merch through this article as well, or through this announcement as well. So this next section is all about music marketing directly inside of Spotify. I've talked a whole bunch about Marquee on this channel. I've ran example campaigns. I'll link to the most recent one right there. And not only are they expanding Marquee for people, for teams in Australia and the UK, previously it was only the US, and Discovery Mode has been rolling out a lot more recently as well. If you're not familiar with Discovery Mode, it's a way to get extra algorithmic exposure through radio and autoplay, and it's free. You just get paid less on the streams they generate for you, which is controversial, but I'll link to another blog post down below where I'm going through exactly how Discovery Mode works. I'll have a video on it soon as well. But the new thing here is Showcase. So they don't have too much information on this. And who knows when it's actually going to come out or if this button will work. But the idea is that this is a promotion mode on... Did it just open up the wrong thing? Oh, no, this is the right thing. So they're just explaining Marquee and Discovery Mode above this. But this is what this Showcase thing actually is. So it's a home page. So when you're on Spotify, open up the app, there's the home page where you see like all your recently listened to music and yada, yada, yada. So on here, they're going to have like video that's native inside of the home feed where people can promote a release. And as far as I know, they haven't talked about like how much this cost or what the model is for like who you can target. It seems like it's for new listeners, for new releases and old releases, for people who are similar to people that listen to your music. Who knows? They're saying they're going to make it more widely available in the near future. For Discovery Mode, that took maybe like a year since I first started hearing about it. For Marquee, probably also about a year. So I'm thinking maybe 2024. A lot of us just regular indies will start getting access to this. Who knows? Spotify seems to be getting a little quicker with this stuff over time. But this is cool because you have Marquee, which is all about retargeting. You have Discovery Mode, which is free, that just kind of gets you some more radio and autoplay based on people's listening habits. And then this Showcase thing, which is like a big homepage video-based thing directly in Spotify. I'm guessing this will be a paid thing. And I would guess it'd be more expensive than Marquee, but who knows? So that's a really cool feature. I just realized that my blue light was off this whole time. Let me know if you noticed that beforehand, but I turned it back on now. So, aside from the Spotify music market, if you don't know me, I have a ton of videos on this channel showing how to use Facebook ads to promote your music. And I'll link to one of the most recent ones I did right here. And at the end, I'll link to my course if you're interested in that. But I have a ton of free content on this channel if you're new here. But going down a little bit further, I mentioned earlier that they are expanding different merch and show integrations directly inside of Spotify. And if you didn't know, last year, Shopify and Spotify partnered up where you can actually link your merch from your Shopify store directly onto your Spotify. And they're expanding that. So if we go into this sell this merch page, they already kind of have this, right, where you can have a product catalog directly on side of your page. And if we go down a little bit, they're kind of just pushing a little more. You can make it more prevalent in certain places and you can tag merch items. But you can also tie them to specific releases. And I'm not seeing the picture that I was looking for, but you can kind of see it down here, really small, that directly on the play page, or what they're called the now playing page, if you can tag this merch to this song, it'll show up directly there. And similarly here, they're showing how you can tag tour dates, show dates, not only as artist pick, but on the now playing view. So you could tag your upcoming tour to specific releases, which is really neat because if you imagine, let's say, you're tying all of these individual components together, using something like Discovery Mode to get free extra promotion in exchange for extra royalties, but free essentially, and your song's doing really well algorithmically, you can tag some merch items or some tour dates to it to promote those releases. And the cool thing with this Discovery Mode is it's pulling in new people. Then you can use Marquee on your next release to retarget those people, and who knows how Showcase will fit into this as well. So there's some more stuff in here, and I encourage you to link to the post I have below and check out some of the videos I've mentioned as well. They're redesigning the home feed. They're getting rid of the heart button and replacing it with the dual function plus button. So a whole bunch of cool stuff, and I think generally all of this is really good for artists. Like a lot of these features are things that I've mentioned in videos, looks like things that I would like Spotify to incorporate. It's not everything, but I think it's a massive step in the right direction. So if you want to learn more about how to market your music on Spotify or any streaming platform, you can check out this playlist right here where I have a ton of videos. Or if you prefer a more organized course with access to a community and a bunch of other assets to help you out, I have my Spotify Growth Machine course right here. Anyways, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you next video. Bye.